Hey everybody, got a video here for you today, and I'm putting together a Q&A video, but I need some quiet alone time to finish that one off. And I'm a little busy this weekend, so maybe, I don't know, in the next few days that one will be coming out. I have started it, but I wanted to make this one. I've had questions on the Osiris Shaft of Giza, and it is directly related to these videos I've been making about these strange structures found throughout Egypt that there is really no good answer for from Egyptologists. But here is Giza, of course, and this is ancient Rostau. And according to Zahi Hawass, Rostau is interpreted as the underground tunnels. So when it says Osiris is Lord of Rostau, it means he is the Lord of the underground tunnels, according to Zahi Hawass. But people are a little confused where this entrance is, and it is right off the southern causeway, or right off the south side of the causeway of Khafre's here, leading down to the Sphinx, and it is just a small shaft, a line perfectly north that descends under the causeway, and it leads down to a vertical shaft, and some other things down there that are mysterious, and I don't think we're getting the correct history of what was originally found down here. Now let me just go over to a couple websites. Now if you read or search about the Osiris Shaft, you will come across a paper by Zahi Hawass where it starts out, I am very happy to write this on one of my most important discoveries of Giza. And Zahi kind of takes credit for discovering this place, but clearly it was discovered long in the past and been written about by a few different people that really had trouble getting down here and really didn't know what to make of it. But here is Hidden Inca Tours, and this is Brian Forster's website. And if you like his videos, I encourage you to just check out his website. There's a lot of good pics and info on here. But here you see this descending shaft. What is the Osiris Shaft in Giza, Egypt? Who made it? When? And he obviously brings up a lot of good questions. But here is the entrance. Now, taking a little closer look at this, the first thing I noticed was vertical erosion marks. And that would have been caused by rainfall, not as severe as around the Sphinx, but this area is a little cut off. It's by the causeway here, so not as much water would have been going down around this area. And it's obviously not as large as the Sphinx enclosure, but clear water, erosion, vertical, suggesting that this is thousands of years older than 4,500 years ago as far as the dating of the Khafre pyramid, the Sphinx, and these underground chambers. Now here are the shafts that descend below the Giza plateau, and early explorers said that these are connected, these shafts. There is passages that go up to the pyramid and down to the Sphinx. That is not confirmed, but that's what they suggest. But here you can see level 1, and then level 2, and then a deep level 3. Now in level 2, there are 7 chambers, and early explorers said that there was a sarcophagus in all of these, and somehow, mysteriously, they seem to disappear over time. But early explorers said these had massive, large sarcophagus in them. Here is a diagram of the lowest chamber. And the sarcophagus, the massive sarcophagus, its lid was found nearby. And this was submerged in water. And the water, I'll go into a little bit more here, but here is a look at what was found below the Giza plateau here. Now here is another website. I will leave the link below, but here, this is the second level, and there was a sarcophagus found here. And also one made out of dacite, D-A-C-I-T-E. And dacite isn't found anywhere close to the region of Giza, so that is a mystery. And it's not nearly as well made as these perfectly smooth polished granite ones. And going down here, this is a look at the bottom, third level, and this is where that sarcophagus was found. And about 70 years ago, I guess when they were building something really close, out in front of the Sphinx, a modern building. They actually tapped into a water reservoir in the shaft, and early reports had people swimming and using the water that was down here for drinking water when this was totally filled, and I guess the Egyptologists had to pump water out of here. So that they were actually using this as a water source down here at one time, but the placement of this down on the lower level, almost on an island, it seems to represent the creation myth of Osiris, and that seems to be the purpose. That seems to be the most logical purpose. But Zahi Hawass says this sarcophagus down here is from the 26th dynasty, from roughly 2,000 years ago. Does that make any sense? No. Now here is Zahi Hawass down here. Says it's his discovery, but if you look on maps by Peering and Weiss and people who were here in the 1800s, they have the entrance to this underground shaft clearly marked on their maps. But I would encourage you to check out Brian Forster's website here, Hidden Inca Tours. It's excellent. Now, I found a report of some people who were here in 1996, a few years before Zahi's special. I think it was on Fox about his remarkable discovery. But here, once again, the shaft is a little longer here and cleared out. You can clearly see those vertical water erosion marks. And here is the descending shaft. How did they get a sarcophagus, or maybe as many as 8 down here? That weighed maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 tons minimum. How do they get them down the shaft? Here is a look at the lower, level 3, the lower mysterious one, and it originally had 4 pillars. 4 pillars around the central, maybe a symbolic tomb of Osiris. But these were intact, reportedly, about 70 years ago. Today they are totally destroyed, these 4 pillars, and these 4 pillars show up in tombs of pharaohs all the way through dynastic Egypt. The 4 pillars, very important. Here is maybe the earliest depiction of that. This was found by these people in the 3rd lowest chamber. I don't know if people know about this, but they were watched by the authorities when they were down here, and when the authorities left for a little while, they had some alone time, they noticed something smooth barely appearing from the ground, and they cleared some dirt from around it. Now what the hell is that? Obviously the sides, and this thing has just been slightly cleared. What is this? What is this? I think this is a huge mystery. This is not one of the reported sarcophagus found down here. And when the authorities realized what they have found, their time down here was severely limited, and that was about it. They never uncovered this. What is this? This is found at the bottom of the mysterious shafts at Giza. But that is what I know on the Osiris Shaft, and I don't believe any history I read. I think we should just research this ourselves and put together the most common sense story. And one more thing I should add is there are underground tunnels. You can see them all the way from the back of the Sphinx, who is Anubis is said to be the guardian of the secrets. And here the shafts are all the way up to here, and they really don't want you below here. Robert Temple got below here, and what did they do to Robert Temple when he was down here? They turned off the lights on him. They kept on turning off and on the lights when he was down here. Clearly they don't want you down here. They don't want anybody investigating this, because this is really, really ancient. And the vertical erosion marks on the entranceway clearly states that the builders of the Sphinx and these shafts, and probably those other structures in Egypt and the Khafre pyramid, since they are all connected and there's vertical erosion marks, I think that proves these structures are thousands and thousands of years older than what we have been told. There's a lot of really incorrect stuff written about Egypt, but this is where the entrance is located, right in front of what people today call the Khafre Pyramid. But this was, of course, attached to the ancient Anubis shrine here, what they call the Sphinx today. Earliest Egyptians say it was a giant Anubis shrine. So this would have been really the mountain of Anubis. And the entrance is right in front of Khafre's pyramid. I think Abydos was really a southern representation of Giza. The Osirian down there is just like the Valley Temple, the mountain of Anubis. That shaft down at Abydos is right in front, just like it is up here at Giza. That's what I know on the Osiris Shaft. Hope you thought that was interesting, and you all have a very nice day.